Down on the boardwalk was one of the most popular spots to eat at Expo. To start with, the surroundings were pretty hard to beat. It was typical Queensland outdoor eating and drinking in a $1 million location right on the river under clear sunny skies. And the food? Everything from pies to pasta. Hot and spicy to plain and simple. At night there was a glorious blanket of stars and the city lights shimmering across the water. With the Kookaburra Queen on the river, you had a choice of eating afloat in grand riverboat style or just doing it easy ashore. We couldn't have shown the world a better example of the Queensland lifestyle. The boardwalk was one of Expo's greatest success stories, and it's no wonder the Brisbane people want to see it become a permanent part of the city's South Bank. Waterside eating venues always get the customers in. If you need further proof at Expo, you only had to take a walk around the shores of the Pacific Village Lagoon. No less than 3 restaurants used the location to great advantage. You could literally do a cook's tour of tastes here, working your way through Japanese, New Zealand and Polynesian cuisines. If the waistline could stand it, this was the place to eat. Expo 88 must go down in history as Australia's greatest eating and drinking spree. There wasn't a taste not catered for. Asian food buffs got into curries, satay and samosas. There were pies and hot dogs, peanuts, hamburgers, ice creams, and an ocean of drinks, soft and hard. You could travel the length of Expo from the Fest House to the beautifully restored Ship Inn, with a lot of interesting stops in between, and never drink the same beer twice. No wonder somebody dubbed this the biggest party ever to hit town. But apart from the river stage, there was plenty happening elsewhere. In fact, the real genius of Expo entertainment was the stream of street performers who generated instant audiences, or relieved the long waits in the queues outside the pavilions. A lot of Expo trippers voted them the real hits of the entertainment program.
No cameras, please. No comment. No comment.
Okay, everybody, right back out of here. Come on. Right back. Nothing to look at here. Nothing to look at here, buddy. Come on.
We got nothing to say, sir. We got nothing to say. It's a no-comment situation. Please, get back. Thank you so much.
The Aquacade pulled the crowds without fail. People claimed a seat, even if it was a little damp, well in advance of each performance. And did it from day one right till the end. Some of the pavilions staged excellent shows of their own. The Russians surprised everyone with a very up-to-the-minute parade of fashions, fresh from the USSR. For more traditional tastes, the Korean Dance Theatre provided a feast of color and movement. Performances were packed to capacity, and if you wanted a seat for any of the shows, you had to get your ticket pretty early in the day. The old saying, everyone loves a parade, picked up new meaning at Expo. The parades were not to be missed, especially the night parade. If you hadn't occupied a slice of sidewalk by about 6 p.m., there was no way you'd have a front row seat when the magic happened at 6:30 p.m. World Expo Park, it was a thrill a minute. A lot of the thrills weren't for the faint-hearted though, and if you could measure pleasure by the volume of screams, then the park riders were having the time of their lives. Like all expos, or any large event, it's the people factor that spells the difference between success and flop. World Expo 88 started with a bang and never looked back. As the weeks rolled by into months, it was pretty obvious that the projected attendance figure of 8 million visitors, considered overly optimistic in some quarters, was going to turn out to be the understatement of all time. The only question was by just how much would that figure be exceeded? Day after day, people invaded the expo site. They packed the entrances, waiting for the clock to hit 10 a.m. And when the gates opened, people actually ran to get to favorite pavilions ahead of the rush. Many planned their visits like a military campaign, systematically working their way through the day's target group of pavilions. Others just took it as it came, content to go with the flow and seize whatever opportunity or experience presented itself, while some became hooked on specific pavilions, events, or attractions. Getting to Expo was an adventure in itself with a choice of ferries, buses, cars, trains, chopper, taxis, pedicab, good old Shanksy's pony. A stroll across Victoria Bridge from Brisbane City Heart was a pleasant prelude to Expo. Or maybe it could have been considered a good training warm-up for a day's hiking around the site, with just the occasional monorail ride to ease the wear and tear on the feet. You couldn't single out any predominant group amongst the crowd. Expo became truly cosmopolitan. A global village where the rich accents of every imaginable nation mingled to form a single voice of friendship and warmth. We learned a lot from Expo. We learned to bridge the gaps of age, gender, and race without trauma, without conditions. The friendships that were born so easily might endure for a lifetime or be a thing of the moment. But they have no less meaning either way. Somehow, stepping through those turnstiles, we managed to throw off our inhibitions, to look past the often narrow confines of our daily lives and philosophies, to discover that there are more things that bind us together than separate us, to understand that the Expo spirit can be a force that lives beyond October 30th, 1988. The days were running out, and the final surge of visitors began to push the attendance figures off the clock. By the time the turnstiles clicked over for the last time, we'd have had attendance figures that would exceed the entire population of Australia. We showed the world in no uncertain terms.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, madame and monsieur. G'day, fellow workers. My name is Mike Williams, your compere for this very special night. Gentlemen, ladies, if you'd be seated. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the chairman of World Expo, the Honourable Sir Llewellyn Edward.
Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Premier, my Lord Mayor, Ministers, Sir Edward Williams, Dr. Delario, Your Excellencies, Madame Dufresne, Commissioners General, Commissioners and ladies and gentlemen. In just 1 hour, World Expo 88 will be closed. The hard work of so many of you have given over such a long period of time has now been completed. The excitement and fun experienced by our visitors will soon become a wonderful memory. Together, we have staged one of the most successful expositions in history. And this success has been brought about by a remarkable commitment and cooperation by many people, and I want to take a moment to thank them. We pay tribute to our international participants who have spent millions of dollars to produce the high standard of pavilions which our visitors have enjoyed so much. To the states and territories, and the states and provinces and prefectures of other countries, I must say we have been very grateful for your involvement, and I wish you many long-term benefits from the marvellous role that you have played in World Expo 88. I also pay tribute to the corporate sector for their support, for the pavilions provided, and for the substantial financial involvement. Our merchandising outlets and the food and beverage outlets have all undertaken their responsibilities with outstanding commitment by providing a wonderful service to millions of people. I must also express gratitude to the trade union movement for their cooperation for World Expo 88. I would like to thank the three levels of government for their support and encouragement. I'd like to also thank the media for their understanding and commitment to us. They have become part of the family of Expo and have been fair and just in their reporting of this exposition, and we thank them for this. I'd like to also thank Sir Edward Williams and his staff for their cooperation and assistance. Mr Premier and Mr Prime Minister, I now turn to the staff of Expo. What a wonderful group of people you have been. Firstly, the volunteers. The volunteers have made an outstanding contribution to World Expo 88. We appreciate that commitment and the enormous support ranging from the group organised by Fran and Mari at Expo House to the host and hostesses organised by Judy Chappell and the on-site volunteers organised by the Lorraine Martin organisation. I also pay tribute to the thousands of honorary ambassadors who've worked so hard for us promoting this great event throughout the world. You too have been magnificent. Secondly, the staff on site, the Skyride team, the cleaners, the security people, the attendants, the maintenance people, and many others who have worked so hard to bring to fruition the dreams of those who planned this great event. It's now time for World Expo to come to an end. 184 days have come and gone quickly, and together we have given the world pleasure, education, celebration and fun. We have made people smile, and we have made this the happiest place on earth in 1988. And now, as we share the closing ceremony of World Expo 88, and the sun fades on this magnificent site, and the lights go out for the last time, it is my fervent hope that the spirit of Expo 88 will never fade, and we must make sure that special things that we have enjoyed through this exposition become part of our daily lives from now on. I thank you for all that has been done. It has been a privilege to work with you, and as we part and say goodbye to the many wonderful friends that we have worked with and we have made, I'm sure that there'll always be a little corner in your hearts which is World Expo 88. I know there will be in mine. Thank you for all of your contribution, and may the light of World Expo 88 never fade.
Ladies and gentlemen, salute our board. I know that all the staff here at Expo have worked very hard these last 6 months or longer, and may not have had a chance to catch up with some of the fantastic local and overseas performers that have performed in front of literally millions of people here at World Expo 88. So to give you just a quick glimpse of what you've missed, it gives us great pleasure now to present to you some of those performers from the Piazza, Amphitheatre, walkways, parades, aquacade, a very special night indeed. Let's hear it for them, folks. Expo City Dance Company. Fifi the Clown. Shoehorn.
Can tell, just you wait, that lucky star we talk about it due. Honey, everything's coming up roses. Snowing.
And here's Zoe, legs on the wall. Roger G, assorted mind. Mr. Beefy, Des Rogers, Andy Bunnies. The gang's all here, everybody. We got Ozzy. Let's do it, let's do it. And we got the parade people. That's entertainment at World Expo 88.
The time had come to let go. Soon the familiar sweep of light from the night companion Sky Needle would be stilled. The skies would burst into fire for the last time.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please once again put your hands together for our fearless leader. We love him, Sir Lou Edwards.
Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Premier, my Lord Mayor, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. As the Prime Minister indicated, the carnival is now over. Expo 88 has come to a close.
There will be other expos, perhaps bigger and more elaborate, but there will never be another World Expo 88. It belongs to us in a special way. The spirit lives in our hearts and minds. Expo Magic is ours forever.